didn't realize he was running the entire country.
Yeah, Lord of the
according
Ball.
to that guy. Yeah. What did I call him? Your Highness? Your Excellency? I wasn't sure how to address him, but according to this wackadoo. Sorry. He's running the entire country. You know what it is. In case you haven't noticed, Barack Obama and Eric Holder, they're black. Shh.
Stephanie, don't say it out loud.
In case you haven't noticed, he's black.
Okay. All right. Is that also the guy that said he does not believe in gay marriage because marriage is between a man? I believe it's the same guy.
Oh, I don't realize.
Yeah,
I don't.
same guy. Yeah, same guy. Family Values Party. Hey, I know who we could talk to about that.
Carl.
Hi, Carl.
Good morning.
I know you haven't been a campaign strategist in a while, but have you noticed that all the Republican candidates, almost all, are completely awful and crazy and conspiratorial and racist and sexist and homophobic? Have you noticed any of that?
Yeah, there seems to be some kind of a trend going on, trend alert.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting to see if they actually take power, what it is they seek to accomplish that will actually help anybody.
Yeah. Let's see. Brian Tyler Cohen said Carrie Lake is now running a commercial featuring a pastor who calls gay people child molesters, says women must submit to their husbands, and says Islam is satanic. Okay, hold please. Daniel Goldman said, I sat across the table from Lee Zeldin for 17 depositions during the first impeachment. He was the member of the GOP relied on to peddle every false conspiracy theory they could think of. Even Jim Jordan and Mark Meadows would not go there. Zeldin is far too extreme for any office. How do we make this case in the home stretch? These are a bunch of crazy, out of the mainstream cranks they have running.
There is no Republican left in Washington, certainly from Washington, who has not, bought the Trump line. They appeal to cruelty. They appeal to conspiracy theories. They appeal to anti-science fervor. And that is all a base turnout mechanism for the transfer of wealth from working people in this country to the extremely wealthy. And they're willing to do whatever it takes, anything that it takes to make that a reality.
Okay. Yeah, Brian Tyler Cohen, also another one, just says Republicans nominated a domestic abuser, a TV scam artist who oversaw puppy killing, an opioid crisis profiteer, a guy who praised the Unabomber and called to privatize Social Security. Democrats nominated a guy who mixed up some words at a debate. Both sides are not the same. I mean, I guess I was making the point about the Fetterman debate.
Yeah.
What did someone tweet yesterday, Travis? The only thing worse than Chuck Todd and Andrea Mitchell is Chuck Todd with Andrea Mitchell.
Oh, it's accurate.
But oh my God, yesterday she's asking Jen Psaki in this fearful voice, is the White House, do you think they're concerned they didn't replace John Fetterman during the primary? I mean, do you think they're, it's just like, oh my God, right? It's like he's so transparent about that he is recovering from a stroke. He mixed up some words. He's going to, as we keep saying, he'll be better in a few months. Oz will always be an Ozhole.
Huh?
And that does not detract from all the other things we've learned about Dr. Oz because of this campaign. Look, this is the point in every election where Democrats, regardless of how we're doing, begin, the circular firing squad, and then the media runs with it. I would remind people that the election has not yet happened, and that it's still a couple weeks away. And if you have not gotten out there to knock on doors or make phone calls or donate or do what you can, do it now. Don't wake up the day after the election wondering if you'd only done X, things would be different.
Right. I was going to say, I know I keep saying don't listen to the polls, don't whatever, but this, is stuff I know you used to look at as a strategist. Of the nearly 8 million votes already cast, 55% of them came from registered Democrats, 34.5% came from Republicans, 10.4% came from non-affiliated voters. Retweet if this person said retweet if this looks like the start of a blue tsunami to you. Well, we know Democrats vote earlier more.
Right.
So what do you make of those numbers?
Well, obviously you want your voters to turn out, so it's always encouraging whenever you see your voters turning out. What folks sharing that information always tend to not share or know maybe is whether those people are representative of people who typically vote early, whether they are people who typically don't vote. There's a lot you don't know in a statistic like that.
Right.
If people who vote early are turning out to vote early, then great. But I think the real question is going to be, whether that kind of momentum continues into Election Day.
Yeah.
You certainly want your early voters to get out there and vote. You want everybody to get out there and vote as quickly as they can.
Yeah.
In fact, if you have an opportunity to vote early, you should absolutely take it.
Yeah.
Even if you love going into a polling booth to cast your ballot, you should always vote early.
And Joy Reid made a great point yesterday, Carl, that it also, because there's so much rat effery going on and, voter suppression on the Republican side, it gives you a chance if your ballot is rejected for whatever reason, or you've been knocked off the rolls and you didn't know, to fix it. Correct. That's why I was saying, the day I got my mail-in ballot, I put it right in my mailbox, like that day. I think that day or the next day.
And I have friends who have been on their way home from work and gotten in car accidents on Election Day, 2 hours before the polls close, and just logistically are not able to get there and vote. So you always want to make sure that your vote is counted. And don't read into anything. You certainly don't take any good news and think I can, take my foot off the accelerator.
Right.
Now is not the time to slow down. Now is the time to gun it, to do everything you can to make sure the right people win.
Yeah.